Hey guys, in this video I'll be taking you through some laid-back leveling in Classic Hardcore. I'll be talking a lot of how I feel about returning to Classic and some lore about the current zone we're in, namely Darkshore. Playing Classic World of Warcraft as a returning player is like stepping through a portal not just into WoW, but into a cherished memory. It's a blend of nostalgia, challenge, and rediscovery. The moment I log in, the minimalist interface and slower pace remind me of how the game once felt unpolished in a way that made every achievement more meaningful. What truly stands out is how involved the quests are. Classic WoW doesn't hold your hand. That breadcrumb trail to a new zone isn't always obvious, and sometimes you'll spend ages looking for murloc fins or chasing down that elusive named mob. But those moments when you finally complete a grueling quest chain are pure triumph. The world feels enormous again. Every trip to the local flight master or a remote graveyard after an untimely death becomes a tale of its own. Each misstep, whether it's pulling one too many mobs or falling victim to the ever-lurking horde in contested zones, feels like a lesson learned the hard way. Zones like the Barrens and Stranglethorn Vale are brimming with personality, and venturing into them feels like an adventure unto itself. The Barrens, with its endless orange expanse and its infamous chat channel, feels alive in its rugged simplicity. Stranglethorn's lush jungles and brutal questlines transport me to a place of danger where survival isn't guaranteed. Those first forays into areas like these are thrilling, filled with a blend of dread and excitement. The world feels dangerous and unkind, yet so immersive and rewarding. Darkshore, on the other hand, is a zone steeped in a somber beauty. Its eternal twilight and the crashing waves along its rocky shoreline create an atmosphere of quiet melancholy. The towering, ancient trees and the ruins scattered throughout tell the story of a once thriving land now haunted by loss. Questing in Darkshore feels introspective. It's not just about defeating foes, but also piecing together fragments of a world that has seen better days. From protecting stranded creatures to uncovering the mysteries of the past, every task pulls you deeper into its somber narrative. The Night Elves' presence, with their solemn grace, adds a layer of mysticism to the zone. Exploring Darkshore feels like walking through a poem written in the language of shadows and tides. In its earliest depiction, Darkshore was a tranquil yet melancholic place. Its main settlement, Aberdeen, was a hub for night elf adventurers, and a resting point for those traveling between Kalimdor and Teldrassil. The zone showcased the Night Elves' deep connection to nature, with towering ancient trees, tranquil wildlife, and mystical moonwells. Ancient ruins scattered throughout the region hinted at the grandeur of the Night Elves' once vast empire, now lost to time. Adventurers in this era encountered quests that dealt with the preservation of natural balance, the protection of vulnerable wildlife, and the study of the Kaldori's ancient past. The Twilight Hammer cult, a recurring antagonist in WoW, had begun to infiltrate the region, threatening its serenity. Darkshore served as a place for players to witness the remnants of Azeroth's ancient history, with references to the Sundering and the War of the Ancients. In the Cataclysm expansion, triggered by the return of the corrupted aspect Deathwing, brought monumental changes to Darkshore. A massive earthquake devastated the zone, destroying Aberdeen and leaving much of the region in ruins. The once stable coastline became a chaotic mess of fissures, whirlpools, and landslides. The devastation drove many Night Elves to desperation, as they struggled to rebuild their homes amidst the chaos. In the wake of these events, a new hub was established at Loretalk, to the north of the ruins of Aberdeen. Players in Cataclysm era Darkshore dealt with the aftermath of the disaster, battling new threats such as the Naga, the Twilight Hammer, and elementals unleashed by Deathwing's emergence. The loss and sorrow of the Night Elves became even more pronounced in this version of the zone, as players were reminded of their struggle to adapt and survive in a shattered world. Darkshore became a critical battleground in the battle for Azeroth expansion, which brought the Alliance and Horde into direct conflict once again. This period marked one of the most tragic moments in the zone's history, the burning of Teldrassil. The tree, home to countless Night Elves, was set ablaze by the Horde's warchief Sylvanas Windrunner, resulting in massive loss of life and the destruction of a sacred Night Elf symbol. Darkshore offers a balanced mix of challenge and safety. With cautious play and efficient questing, it can propel you smoothly into your mid-20s. Always be mindful of your surroundings, and remember that survival is paramount in hardcore. Survival tips for Darkshore in general. Watch for murlocs. The murlocs near the shoreline are notorious for their crowd control abilities and frequent ads. Navigate the terrain. Darkshore's forests and cliffs can obscure vision, leading to accidental pulls. Use the minimap and stick to paths. Stay above level range. Many quests in Darkshore can be safely completed a level or two above their minimum requirement. Mind the Naga camps. These can be tricky due to densely packed enemies and ranged attacks.
What brings you here? Greetings.
Thank you for staying this round. Support the channel and we'll see if we can scrub off some dust in the old Lore Master archive and stay alive in hardcore with this warrior.